And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
One of the more cerebral quarterbacks in the NFL. Analyzes situations, watches a ton of tape, adapts his game to whatever is presented in front of him. And despite the fact he's been in the league for 6 years, the future still bright for Russell Wilson.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
In music, the Seattle sound is distinctive. In the NFL, it's the Seattle running game, usually ranked in the top 5 in the NFL. It fell to number 25 in 2016, and they're trying to revamp the offensive line and find a bell cow running back in order to get things moving again.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Green Bay's defense in 2016 was a bit unbalanced. Number 8 against the run, but number 31 against the pass. So you know the offseason emphasis was on trying to make sure they shored up the secondary and increase the pass rush.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 33. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he floats one there, incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
He led the NFL with 40 touchdown passes in 2016. In fact, he's only the 4th quarterback to throw at least 40 touchdowns in multiple seasons. And he keeps getting better. Better timing, better understanding of the offensive system, and great coordination with his play-calling head coach.
319!
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes, occasionally, Randall Cobb somewhat gets taken for granted about his abilities with Green Bay, doesn't he?
Well, the numbers last year, solid but not amazing. Just over 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. But he complements everybody else, doesn't he?
He really does, and his versatility is so big for them because he can actually run back to the backfield and be a running back as well as a slot receiver and someone who moves outside. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A Packer first. Rodgers to his new target, Bennett.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
That's what they were aiming for. You want to keep moving the sticks, get into a rhythm, gain confidence as you go along. And right now, mission accomplished.
And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Some players may change, some coaches may change, but head coach Pete Carroll is still there, which means that Seattle's defense is always going to be a threat to be the top-ranked defense in the NFL. They ranked number 5 in 2016, and they continue to do it with a tremendous secondary and great pass rushers up front, able to utilize their skills to create matchup problems for offenses.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback? Or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
Second down now after the pass completion. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Martellus Bennett, his first touchdown in green and gold. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks heading out, and for them, 5 straight years of double-digit victories and a playoff berth. They've had their run of the NFC West and probably likely the favorites this season as well.
I would agree with that. The counter-culture Seahawks, because the way they evaluate is for their system, for their franchise, for their culture. Much more so than whether a guy fits everything that you're looking for to check off a box. Quarterback, he's supposed to be too short. He's one of the best in the game. When they went in free agency this year and got Eddie Lacy, everyone else wanted Eddie Lacy to lose weight. They said, we still want him big because we want him to break some tackles. Flip it over to defense, they get after you. Simple schemes, but they tune it up and play it at a high level. They expect to get back to a Super Bowl.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? He not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. On third down, Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Jimmy Graham had a really tough injury in 2015 that ended his season, but what a bounce back in 2016. How did he not get any votes for Comeback Player of the Year?
I was just going to ask you that. Not that Jordy Nelson wasn't deserving, but 65 catches, 923 yards. That was looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Devon House. Still going. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Reminder that later tonight we'll see the Giants and Cowboys battle in Dallas. Seems like they're always playing in week one. And then on Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. He's already back in Minnesota to play the Vikings. And then a 10-20 start on the East Coast. It's the first game for the L.A. Chargers traveling to Denver.
A nice AFC West matchup.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So down on the ground still is Rawls. And you remember his knee injury and hope that it's not a re-aggravation. Hate to see this. Week one of the season. We'll be back. So it'll be first down here after the run. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Following the penalty now, Lacy. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. So Rawls appears to be shaken up. He remains down. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Clay Matthews. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Packers making their way out, and again for them, feels like they're the team to beat in the NFC North. They've won that division 5 of the last 6 years, and Aaron Rodgers just feel like he has at least another Super Bowl left in the tank, maybe, right?
I would say so, and I think there's probably some frustration that he hasn't gotten back to the Super Bowl after winning that one against Pittsburgh, because one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, prime of his career, you don't want to waste that opportunity. And they came close last year going to the NFC Championship game. They want to take the next step. They have it all there in front of them. They know that they tend to rule that division. Now can they make that one last big jump in the NFC and get back to a Super Bowl?
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers looks for Janis, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
First down, this is Rawls. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Now Wilson on first down. This complete to Lockett. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, complete. Richardson has it. And down inside the 15 he goes. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Wilson will throw again. This is caught. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now on to kick it away, the rookie from Miami, Justin Vogel. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. All right, let's shift our attention to Eddie Lacy. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
At some point, the doubters have to just kind of back off with Doug Baldwin, don't they? I mean, we're talking about back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, had over 90 catches in 2016. He's going to play with a chip on his shoulder, but he's going to be productive.
2016, also his first Pro Bowl as well. Here's Wilson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. On line, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, and the 49ers are out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Play clock winding down. Rodgers to throw on second down. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Have you gotten used to seeing Martellus Bennett number 80? I mean, he's been number 88 his entire career, right?
And how about that? The fans selecting his jersey number.
Yeah, that was his idea. He put that out there on social media and said, here are a few choices. What should I wear? And he went with what the fans picked. Over 100,000 people weighed in.
Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
319.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on third and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Oh, the Seahawks come after it, and they block it. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you. In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, Wilson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On third and 1, Wilson. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, clearly that was a design play. I just don't know that it was the right design. I mean, your holder, to have him pick it up and kind of be the power guy trying to run through the middle, everything has to go right for that to work.
You mean you weren't relying on just great blocking to get him through? You kind of think maybe he can help make his own way if he's an actual running back instead of the holder? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. For Jordy last year, tremendous. NFL's comeback player of the year, 97 catches, over 1,200 yards, and led the NFL 14 receiving touchdowns.
Well-deserving to be the comeback player of the year, but I know these types of competitors, they don't like to be the ones to come back from anything. They just want to be consistent, and Jordy Nelson is definitely that. Every everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. He's going to have the... Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They go again with Rawls. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now it's Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On second down, here's Wilson. And he's got the big tight end Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. You got to figure if they want to have success this year, the more they can put the football in his hands, the better, coming off a Pro Bowl campaign.
And that Pro Bowl campaign.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And the play clock's running down. To throw is Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
To throw is Rodgers from the gun on third down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On now is the Packers punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here, you're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Throwing again. Wilson throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Baldwin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Call it a gain of 5. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And that's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Back now at Lambeau. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. A dump off to Lacy. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Going to Rawls on the dump off. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. This throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 5-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him when he's caught. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jordy Nelson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So Wilson heads for the sidelines, and they'll turn it over to the backup now. It's Austin Davis. The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
He completes it to Nelson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch him. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that takes us from second to third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Operating from the gun, Davis. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
A running play for Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Davis now looking to throw on second down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left, and then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Even score late in the 4th. Let's see if the defense can play within themselves, not give up the big play and contain, and keep this knotted up. 20th carry for Thomas Rawls. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right down Broadway. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Well, now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
They are on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And as of now, folks, it's the Niners who have the lead there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. They'll look to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. He's back to throw. And he's got Bennett. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move to sticks. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. He was looking for his running back, Jamal Williams. And now it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Rodgers to throw. It's brought in by Janis. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And out of bounds right around the 20. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And time now for the Seahawks defense to take their spots again on the field. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. He completes it middle of the field to Janis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. When you're trying to win a game in overtime, I don't know that there's too many more in the history of the game you win under center than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think a lot of it's because he can beat you so many different ways. Right? He can beat you with the big shot downfield. Heck, if you need a Hail Mary, no one throws it better than Aaron Rodgers. But just when you think you've got him corralled in, when you've got pressure on him, he uses his legs to escape and create another big play, whether he's running it or extending it so a receiver gets open. I think he embraces overtime, and he embraces the spotlight that comes with it.
319.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, That's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it. They don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? Anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath. And boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on 2nd down. Davis in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Davis now. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They forced a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Here's Davis. Operating from the gun. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And this is going to be incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Green Bay, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they obviously